We're living in a pretty wild time, right? Our kids' lives are being documented like never before. Every single moment, every little mistake, it can all be captured and, stored forever. So the big question is, how on earth do we prepare them for a world that literally has a perfect memory?
Think about it. For most of us, our embarrassing teenage moments, they're just fuzzy, fading memories, thankfully. But for kids today, those same moments can become these permanent digital tattoos. A single careless post can literally follow them for the rest of their lives because, and this is the key, the internet never, ever forgets.
And that really raises a critical question for all of us, as parents, as educators. Are we just teaching our kids the basics, how to use the internet, or are we really teaching them how to live with it? Because let's be honest, in today's world, this isn't just about tech skills anymore, it's about life skills.
I mean, why does this matter so much? A kid's digital footprint today, it's not just a scrapbook of fun photos and updates anymore. It's a high-stakes public record, and it can have a massive impact on their future. We're talking about the thing that can unlock doors to universities, to internships, to their dream jobs, or it can be the very reason those same doors get slammed shut in their face. Okay, to make this really hit home, let me tell you a quick story. Let's meet Rahul. By all accounts, he's a great kid, super talented, hardworking, great grades. I mean, he had a really bright future ahead of him. He was totally on the fast track to success, or so he thought.
So Rahul applies to his dream university, right? And everything seems to be going perfectly. He's got the grades, the extracurriculars, a glowing recommendation, the whole package. But then his application just stalls. It hits a wall. It's put on hold, and nobody's telling him why.
Well, it turns out the university admissions team had done a deep dive into his online life, his digital footprint. And yep, they found something. An old social media post from years and years ago. It was just a sarcastic, kind of immature joke. But that one post was enough to derail his entire future.
And Rahul, he was just in shock. He couldn't believe that one single, thoughtless post from his past could have such devastating consequences. And his story, it really just highlights this huge gap in understanding that we, as the adults in their lives, absolutely need to address.
Rahul's story is a massive wake-up call, right? It shows us we've got to be way more proactive in teaching our kids about digital responsibility. So the first step is to really understand the different ways kids interact with the online world. Let's start with a profile we call the digitally naive.
So you can kind of think of it like a spectrum. On one end, you have the digitally naive. These are the kids who've been pretty shielded from the online world. And on the other end, you've got the hyper-visible, the ones who've basically grown up with a phone in their hand. And what we're going to see is that both of these groups face their own very unique set of challenges.
Okay, so for the digitally naive kids, the big danger is something we call the sudden exposure problem. Imagine this. You've got a kid who's been completely sheltered from the internet, and then suddenly they get unrestricted access. It's like giving the keys to a sports car to a teenager who's never even had a driving lesson. They often just go wild, oversharing, and making all sorts of reckless decisions.
And this is such a crucial point. The strategy of just saying, don't use it, is not only ineffective, it's actually counterproductive. Telling a kid to stay off social media completely is like telling them not to drive without ever teaching them the rules of the road. Our goal shouldn't be to just prevent them from using these tools, but to actually teach them how to use them wisely.
So what do we have to teach them? Well, for starters, that in the digital world, there's really no such thing as a private conversation anymore. A joke that's hilarious among friends can be screenshotted, taken out of context, and shared with the entire world. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, a totally harmless comment can blow up into a reputation-damaging nightmare.
All right, so now let's flip to the other end of that spectrum we talked about, the hyper-visible child. You know these kids. They're the ones who seem like they were born with a smartphone in their hand. They're totally comfortable online, they're confident, and their digital footprint is already miles long.
And look, their comfort with technology, their digital savvy, that can be a huge asset. I mean, they can build global networks, showcase their talents, connect with people from all over. But, and this is a big but, without proper guidance, that same high visibility becomes a double-edged sword, exposing them to a whole world of risks.
And this is the core conflict for this hyper-visible generation. Come on, we all remember being a teenager, right? These super intense emotions, the drama, the highs and lows. But for us, those feelings just faded over time. For kids today, those exact same fleeting emotions can be immortalized online, creating a permanent, searchable record of their most vulnerable moments.
And this brings us to a really common trap that parents of these hyper-visible kids fall into. We see them just expertly navigating the digital world, and we assume they have the wisdom to match their skills. We think, oh, they're so tech-savvy. They totally know what they're doing. But let me tell you, that is a very dangerous assumption to make.
It's really this simple. Digital confidence does not equal digital wisdom. Just because a kid knows how to use an app doesn't mean they know how to use it responsibly. And that right there is where we come in. It's our job to guide them, to help them develop the digital maturity they actually need to thrive online.
So whether your kid is on the digitally naive end or a hyper-visible pro, what can you actually do to help them navigate this stuff? Well, the answer lies in having a clear, consistent set of rules and habits. Let's call it the parent's digital playbook.
Here are 5 really practical rules from this playbook that you can start using, like, today. Number 1, teach them to pause before they post. Just take a breath and think about the consequences. Number 2, assume everything is permanent. Remind them that once something is online, it's pretty much there forever. 3, talk about public versus private. Help them draw those lines and decide what's okay to share and what isn't. 4, be intentional. Encourage them to actively curate their digital footprint to build a positive presence. And finally, number 5, make it a regular habit to review their online history together. It's a fantastic chance for open conversations.
And this is a point that I think we often forget. Your digital identity is kind of like a billboard with your name on it that's on display 24/7. It's always communicating something about you, even when you're not actively posting anything. So really, it's not just about what you post, it's about the whole picture, the overall message it's sending out to the world. So when you look at these two groups, you can really see they're just on opposite ends of the same challenge. The digitally naive kids, they need to learn how to step into the digital world safely. And the hypervisible kids, they need to learn how to step back and use some restraint. It's a total balancing act, and our job is to help them find that sweet spot in the middle.
You know, at the end of the day, whether your kid is a total digital novice or basically a seasoned pro, there's really just one single guiding principle that should drive all of our decisions.
And this is it. This is the whole ballgame. We're not just teaching our kids how to use the latest app or get around the newest platform. No. We are preparing them for a future where their digital footprint is going to be scrutinized by, well, everyone. College admissions officers, future bosses, you name it. We're helping them build a digital legacy that they can actually be proud of. So I'm just going to leave you with this question to think about. If you were to look at your child's digital footprint right now, today, what story would it tell? Is it a story that you'd be proud of? And maybe more importantly, is it a story that's going to help them become the person they're truly meant to be?